Hello and welcome back for more The Rise and Fall of the Comanche Empire, Comancheria from GMT Games. Well, a little weirdness with audio in this one, just for the first 3 minutes, but basically for the first 3 minutes, my mic was muted somehow. So quickly, what I'm doing just in the beginning is I'm kind of recapping the game state. And basically that Green has really filled out the board with his settlements, and I'm at real danger at this point of culture actions, which would take 6 culture off of my total every time they occurred. So I have to think about that. So the basic idea is going to be to, do culture actions to try to keep culture in a good place and really start to try to put a bunch of ravage counters down here on green. That'll have 2 main effects. One will be it will keep them from doing things like culture actions because they'll be busy trying to remove ravage counters. And then hopefully, if I can get to a passage of time, it will also sort of take some of their settlements off the board. Now, I'm kind of looking at what resources I have available as well, both now and resources that I could pick up, sort of trying to remind myself of what's going on. And the other thing that's really sort of that I start to think about doing here is repositioning my rancheria. I'm looking at this card, not this card, the previous card, which would allow me to sort of reposition my rancheria, and realizing that there's a lot of value to having that card, because what I'd love to do is get Rancheria C maybe up north protecting against green, and get Rancheria A down here worrying about green, since Rancheria A is my strongest and can do the most damage to green. So I'm thinking about how I might go about sort of repositioning my Rancheria in order to deal with the threat. And then, of course, I realized that in my previous move, I forgot to unspool all of my raids. So if you've watched this series at all, you know that this is something I do with alarming frequency. So I'm just basically cleaning up right now, getting everything sort of set up and ready for the new turn. And hopefully, I think the audio is about to kick back in here soon, and we can just get back to normal operations. There we go. So we'll start by drawing a card, and the South is going to move 1. So the South is going to move towards Rancheria C. This is definitely ugly. And now I roll. So I don't have to roll here because that is, with a 7, that is clearly going to attrit. And now I got to hope that this is sort of kind. Okay. Well, I'm losing a military point because I don't think that there is any way that this is going to get taken off the board. I don't think there's any way that that's going to happen. So I've got a very high likelihood that they're going to come after me next turn and attack me there, unless I find a way to move Rancheria C. It's like I need to do a planning action right now. Actually, I think as much as I might not want to, I think I'm going to have to do a planning action right now as a way of kind of positioning myself more advantageously. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a planning action. All right, let's go through the steps then for a planning action. I'm going to, right now, I'm going to take -1 military point because I have a feeling that I will forget to do that. And so I'm going to do that ahead of time because I'm going to get to the end of Operations Cleanup and I'm just going to be like, what? I'll have completely forgotten that happened. So each Mahimiana with 1 gets +1. So those 2 Mahimiana get +1. Okay, so let's see. So first things first. None. Okay, so here I transfer that success there, and then I'm finished. In here I transfer success, then I do that, and now I spend these. So he goes up by 1 and he can't go up by 1. So those now both go out of play. Okay. So here we're going to see how many headman actions we can get out of that particular. So we get 5. So odds are this is as many as we're going to need. So I've got 9 APs. So I'm definitely going to spend 1 AP to grab this Mounted Society card. I think that that's a good thing. And then this one. Yeah. I'm going to take this card also. So I'm going to spend 2 APs. So that is 2 headman actions. And then I will drop him by 2 to gain those APs back. And then culture is greater than military, so I will spend a culture point to get a military point. Now I know that's a bit risky. No, I will not do that. Military is less than culture only artificially because I spent that military point early, so I can't actually do that. They are technically tied at this point, so I can't actually do that. So I've got 1 left. So I'm going to spend 1 AP, and I'm going to... I mean, it doesn't really help me that much, I don't think. Maybe. Yeah. Oh. I'm going to spend 1 AP, and I'm going to return that to the cup. Then, on my next turn, this for Rancheria B, he's just going to take 1 headman action. And he is going to spend that. And then Rancheria C, I think I will do nothing with Rancheria C. In fact, actually, what I'm going to do is Rancheria C is going to spend the AP to move the success token, and then he's going to spend an AP, and he's going to grow that. Okay. So that is all of my headman actions. So don't have any Mahimiana with a medicine rating of 0. All finish band strength is reduced by 1. So this band becomes a 1/6. And this band, these 2 bands also become 1/6s. That's not perhaps completely ideal. Now I can move my Rancheria. Okay, so Rancheria C can move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Rancheria C can get up there and be my defense up there. Rancheria A gets 6, 7, 8 moves. So Rancheria A is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rancheria A is going to move to there. Then Rancheria C is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Now Rancheria B can move 5. And so I think Rancheria B, where can Rancheria B go? How many? I've already lost track. How many did I say? 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the best that they can do. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to move them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The thinking here is I want to get them into Llano Estacado because then I have control in that. I have Comanche control in that territory, at least for the time being. So I've now moved all of my rancheria. Now the enemy executes 1 free instruction. So my northern enemies are going to get to raid. So let me remind myself of what raiding entails. See, raid. Oh God, if the North already has, they don't have a war column in place. They don't have a ravage counter. Nearest to a rancheria. Non-allied tribe nearest to a rancheria. I think that's going to be here because they're 1, 2, 3 away from that. 1, 2, 3. That actually is, well, 1, 2, 3. That's so basically I think it's a toss up between these two. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I assume, well, let's see, actually I should be careful about this. I got feedback that they're like on Subjugate, I was not doing it correctly. I was randomly choosing and I need to follow something. So let me just make sure that you don't like automatically choose. Randomly chosen non-allied tribe nearest to a rancheria. Okay. So this one is 3, is however you count it, 3 away from that. And this is 3 away from that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. So it's going to go there. So that raid goes there. Cost of the raid. So that is not the most worrisome thing ever. I mean, it's an annoyance, but it's not the most worrisome thing ever. It's certainly not as worrisome as, say, that. Okay, so I've executed the free instruction. Now, I gotta roll the die. So, on a 3, I think it goes down to passage of time. Less than or equal, so must do passage of time. So that goes there. Now, we do cleanup. So during cleanup, drop my military points here, but stacking rules are okay. There are no rancheria with finished bands. I am going to draw and reveal a counter. So that's good, but I do have 2 points over here, so we are going to actually go through this process. So the West is going to activate, and this war token is going to flip over to settle. Now they only have 2, so they actually cannot do this, which is good because that ravage counter is going to stay, which is good. I needed that ravage counter to stay. Okay, then I did move my military point down, so I am okay on that. All right. And that is the end of operations cleanup. So now we are going back around. So first we got to do war column. Now I got 2 war columns on the board at this point. So east and west move. So neither of those two moves. So we are rolling here less than the war column strength. So I just don't want to roll a 6. So the green die is for green and the yellow die is for yellow. Actually, I should just do this. There we go. Green die is for green. Gray die is for gray. All right, so this one. So at least they're now down to 5 minus 2. So we're out of the -3 modifier for them. Now we draw a card. Be nice. Very nice. Gotta love these giant planes. All right, that's cool. Okay, this game changes in a hurry. That's one of the things I'm learning about this is that the situation in this game can change in a hurry. Okay, so now having done the war column phase, we now go to passage of time. So mark all in-play bands as unfinished. I can spend resources to create new counters. So, oops. I think Rancheria B is okay. They don't have any resources anyway. I think Rancheria A is okay. Yeah. And I'm not going to do that here because I'd rather spend the captives to increase this. So now we're going to spend to increase. So here we're going to take both of these 1/6s and turn them into 2/5s. We're going to take that and also turn that into a 2/5. So we put all of those away. That comes down, and so now we are back up to a reasonable-ish strength. Okay. Okay. I can't place a new rancheria. Now I can voluntarily retire Mahimiana. So I'm going to voluntarily retire this Mahimiana. And I'm going to voluntarily retire this Mahimiana. I know that I'm unlikely to roll lower than this, but on the off chance that I do, I'd rather keep him where he is. So now we are rolling for basically just these two headmen. So green is for the Mahimiana, gray is for the Paraibo. So unfortunately, this Mahimiana dies, and he now has a value of 1. Even if I'd retired him, I would have been in that situation anyway. Then we're rolling for our Mahimiana. So up there in Rancheria C, we get Mahimiana with a 3, and in Rancheria A, oof, okay. So we have now replaced all of our headmen. Return all of the success tokens. So those guys all get returned. I didn't need to spend those APs on those, but oh well. Resource counters. Each tribe settlement with 1+ ravaged is removed. So that will eliminate that yellow settlement, and I don't lose a military point as a result of that. So that is good. That will return control of this to me. So that is good. Okay. Roll a die for each peace and ally counter. I don't have any peace or ally counters on the map. Randomly select a territory and place a bison. Okay. So we're going to place a bison in territory 1. Then repeat this step for each empty development space. There's 3 empty ones. So I'm just going to roll 3 dice and we'll deal with them all in turn. So in area 2, Lower Arkansas, we do have a space available. In area 3, which is Llano Estacado, we do have a space available. And in area 1, we still have spaces available. All right, so we've placed all of our bison. Now, discard all the cards in development spaces and draw and reveal new development cards. Okay. When revealed, remove all bison counters from the Upper and Lower Arkansas territory. Holy cow. Well, I wiped out some of my bison gains. So it doesn't say to discard it, so I'm not going to. That just stays there. Painted Shield. Spend 1 AP to take this card in hand. +1 counter during success checks. Okay. Sort of valuable, not terrible. If the west square space is a peace space, end piece, it's not. West forms a war column. So, I have questions. My question is whether or not if the west square space is a peace space is also a predicate for forming this war column, but I don't believe it. But I'm going to say I do not believe it is. I think that the west is going to form a war column is what's going to happen. So, let's see. So, I'm going to use this topmost counter and this. So I've got 3 of these on the board now. Now, the good news, such as it is that the ignore enemy action table, only the west executes instructions. So for a while here, only the west is going to be executing instructions. That's interesting. Ignore enemy action table. Only west executes instructions. So basically the west is going to... Okay. Interesting. Remember I was saying this game changes quickly? It changes quickly. I need to get to a planning phase where I can buy this card so that I can then play it and get rid of that war column is kind of the short answer. Wow, that was okay. I can purchase one culture card. Now, this is an interesting question, and I think I'm going to forego buying a culture card here only because there is a possibility that, well, I guess there isn't a possibility that green can go at this point. Now that I think about it, there isn't a possibility of that happening. So, culture card. I think I'm going to forego a culture card anyway, just because I'm going to forego a culture card. Okay. It just feels risky. I got to protect my culture points. Although this is clearly a problem. Okay. So if I forego buying a culture card, now I move this up to there. I move this down to there. And now I do operations cleanup. So no rancherias with finished bands. So I'm drawing a counter from the Success Cup. All right. Cool. So I'm going to roll. So I ignore this. West is going to activate, but I am going to roll to figure out what they're going to flip. Which of their tokens they're going to flip. Oh, yeah, of course, they're going to flip the peace token. Great. So they have settled, but there's only 2 action points, so they're not actually going to do anything, as it turns out. So, okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to do one more turn here because I'm going to take a culture action, and so I know that that's going to go relatively quickly. So war column phase now. I've got war columns everywhere. So the south and north war columns are both going to move. So this war column is going to move here. Everybody's moving 1, right? That war column is going to move there. They're kind of headed towards Rancheria A. Green. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So green is going to reverse course and move here, heading for Rancheria A. I guess they're both heading for Rancheria A. Ah! Okay. Yellow does not move. So now we are rolling for all 3 of them. Actually, I don't even need to roll for yellow. We can just flip yellow. Come on, green, be low. I think it has to be below. Yeah, it has to be below. Less than. Okay, so nobody attrits this turn. And now we are drawing. After a band is marked as finished in a war space, spend 2 APs to end war with that enemy column. Ooh. Oh my goodness, that's interesting. Oh. One second. Okay, I was just checking something. So, change of plans. We are going to not do a culture action. We are going to take actions with Rancheria C. So, we are going to Okay. So we are going to move this band. Let me think about this. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to hunt. So we had 5 MPs. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to hunt. And then we're going to move him 2 more spaces using our quality mounts card. So now we roll a die. And if I roll a 1 or a 2, I have to discard that card. Don't. So I get my 2 extra movement points. Then we mark him as finished. Now, based on this card, I'm going to spend 2 APs to end war with this enemy column. Don't want that war. Oops, that one gotta come out. So what's interesting is now that this war is over, I guess I'm going to keep only doing yellow actions. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't, because this card is still in play. So I think I'm going to continue to follow that instruction. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. Okay, then I'm going to spend 2 APs to activate these guys again. And I'm going to go 1 space and hunt. Oops. Put that back. And then I will go 1, 2. And then I will use my quality mounts to move the 1 space back to the Rancheria. And I get to keep my quality mounts card. So that is Rancheria C. So they end up going back there. And I don't end up using that band. I'm going to keep them around. So now, having finished that, we'll unpack all of those guys. And now we go to operations cleanup. I hope I did all that correctly. I think I did, but hopefully I did do that correctly. All right, no stacking rules problems. I've got this one Rancheria with a finished band, and he does trigger a free activity. So that is going to be yellow. So yellow is going to free instruction. So yeah, first things first. Actually, let's do this first. So this was the second one. Just quickly, that was the second one. This was the first one. I kind of moved them prematurely. I had to see which one flipped. So the free instruction is going to be to settle. So they're going to put that back on the board. So settle. The lowest value. So both this, so this has, no, this, they can't place there because, yeah, they can't place there because, so that settlement goes back. So essentially, the outcome of that war was that they placed a settlement, even though we managed to ambush the war column and defeat it. If you're sort of trying to construct a narrative for what's going on here, that is, I think, narratively what's going on here. So then we draw from the draw cup, and we get 3 enemy APs. So we are going to spend those 3 enemy APs, for this peace counter. I think I just place it there. I think that's the only thing that I do. No ravaged, no war column. Place peace counter. Oh, actually, sorry. Hang on a second. Okay. First things first, I have to roll to see which of their counters flips. Even though I'm automatically choosing them, I have to see which one of their counters flips. So that counter ends up flipping. Okay. Sorry, going back. And then, so I've got 2 APs left and a 3 subjugate, so I can't execute that. So that is the end of operations cleanup. Now, the reason in case it isn't clear, the reason I did that was I didn't want to do culture there because I wanted to take advantage of this card to get that war column off the board. So I forewent the culture action in order to take advantage of this, because if I'd waited a turn, then this card would no longer be there. But with that, that seems like a good place to end. We survived another video despite the chaos in the South. Eventful turn, interesting turn from my perspective. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're enjoying the video, and if you are, it would be great if you could leave a like. Definitely leave comments. Comments are really appreciated and very, very, very helpful. And if you're enjoying the series and the channel, it would be great if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll know when we produce new content. But we will see you next time for more Comancheria on Agility Snip's gaming table.